Madam Executive Officer, if you would
you divide the question?
Call the roll on the items that are before us as...
There's three motions.
Actually, we have three motions on the table.
But on Supervisor Kanabe's motion, if you could divide those 6 points.
Divide the 6 points. So you want to actually take up first...
Well, on item number 2, I would want to oppose. Because for the simple reason, not everybody received a ballot to turn in, and the ballot where we asked people to turn it in was located in a downtown Los Angeles location, which discriminated against people from Wrightwood, from the Antelope Valley, the Santa Cruz Valley, Catalina.
That's exactly why I have it on there. I mean, you can bifurcate it if you want, but the reason I put it on there because I totally agree with you. And that has to be an option of a ballot. It didn't say do it. It says at least make it an option because of the fact that it was mailed during the holidays, because of the fact it looked like junk mail, because of the fact people didn't get it or pay attention. And that's exactly why I have number 2 on there. So
the way I read it is you want to place it on the general election if there's no majority protest. You're saying have another ballot to determine.
Yeah, because I don't want to exclude that. Okay. You know, because the reality is you're not going to even be close to majority.
So we're throwing out the old vote because it wasn't.
Well, we don't know, but we're not. You know, I mean, the reality is it's not even going to be close. So I want them to look at the putting on the general ballot.
It's an option.
It's an option.
All right, members, what is your pleasure? Shall we proceed? Supervisor Antonovich, do you still wish to opt out on item number 2? What is your pleasure? Otherwise,
I would support it on the general election if it was going to be passed by the board for a general election.
Well, we have to make that decision at some point.
We'll make that in 60 days.
We'll make that in 60 days. That's why I want it on there as an option.
Ladies and gentlemen, the matter is before us, and
I'll move it.
It has been moved by Supervisor Kanabe. Your second to that item that's before.
Yeah, I'll second it.
Supervisor
and Mr. Chairman, that includes the input that I gave and that you gave. It's all subsumed in the Kanabe motion?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
All right. Then let's proceed to a roll call on that item.
So on Supervisor Kanabe's motion, this is to continue.
That's a 60 days, right?
Yes.
Right. I changed it 60 days and I added county council.
All right. Thank you. You may proceed with your duties, ma'am, and those who wish to interfere, we're going to handle them accordingly.
Thank you. Again, this is Supervisor Kanabe's motion to continue the protest process as amended for 60 days. And with the following report back, there's 6 items. Supervisor Yaroslavsky also added 2 additional items. One was for Public Works to also look at ways, and County Council to look at ways on how to credit any property owners who may have already invested money in clean water initiatives. And also, once an ordinance has been completed, it needs to come before the board before it goes out to a vote. So that item is before us. Supervisor Molina? No. This is Supervisor Kanabe's motion to continue the protest process for 60 days. Okay. Supervisor Yaroslavsky?
Yes.
Supervisor Kanabe?
Aye.
Supervisor Antonovich?
No.
Supervisor Ridley Thomas? Would you like me to repeat what's before you?
No, but there's a vulnerability that I'm understanding attaches to item number 1 here, according to County Council, in terms of the online protest, and I don't want to proceed with that being an issue that we haven't considered. You might choose to comment on that.
Supervisor, I don't know if an online protest option is feasible. There is no Prop 218 requires that there be written protests submitted. So I believe there's no legal prohibition against emailing protests so long as sufficient safeguards are incorporated.
Well, because you also ruled 8 days ago, not you, but indicated that there's a possibility to do it. So why don't we just change it and add a feasibility?
To the extent that it's feasible, all right.
A feasibility. Change the word to feasibility of an online.
Legally and
feasibly.
And practically feasible.
Well,
because it may not be practical at this point, but I want you to look at it. Feasibility.
We can certainly report back on that, but I wanted to just be clear that if the proposal or if the motion is to continue the protest hearing to another date, we may not be able to have an email protest option.
He just wants you to come back with a feasibility report on whether it can be done.
Okay.
Legally and practically.
We can do that.
Okay.
Right.
You're not being directed to do it, but to get back to us as soon as possible whether they can be done.
Items before us, and we are proceeding with that clarification.
And Supervisor Ridley Thomas, I need your vote.
Mr. Chairman, can I just...
No, let's complete the roll call.
We did. You were the last
The motion
one.
carries.
You've already sought the vote of Supervisor Molina?
She voted no.
She voted no.
I did what you want me to.
Can I raise a
Proceed.
procedural question? Can we identify the date if the 60 days?
Well, we still have two other motions.
I know we do, but for the purposes of Don's motion,
60 days from
it
today
would be about March 19th is the way I looked at it.
would be approximately the hearing of probably March 12th.
Okay. Will you
March
make
12th?
that the date so that people will know? Yeah.
All right, proceed, please.
March 12th is the date. Okay.
So we'll say March 12th.
Okay.
All right, the next motion that's on the table is Supervisor Antonovich's motion to oppose the clean water tax. Supervisor Molina?
No.
Supervisor Yaroslavsky?
No.
Supervisor Knabe?
Aye.
Supervisor Antonovich? Supervisor Ridley Thomas?
No.
Motion fails to carry. The last item before you is Supervisor Antonovich's motion to report back on the use of a portion of the $162 million of redevelopment funds and look at other sources of revenue. Supervisor Molina?
Can we just clarify, maybe you roll that into mine, because item 6 of mine is basically the same thing. Just to look at other mechanisms, whether it be
Yeah,
redevelopment.
but he's said use that money. That's a different motion.
Okay. All right.
He said the feasibility of using a portion.
But mine basically has to do the same thing, but all options.
The item is before us on Supervisor Antonivich's motion. Call the roll.
Supervisor Molina?
No.
Supervisor Yaroslavsky?
Nope.
Supervisor Knabe?
No.
Supervisor Antonovich? Supervisor Ridley Thomas?
Abstain. All right.
Motion fails to carry. Thank you.
Thank you. That essentially covers all of the issues.
Can we include this in the adjournment motions?
Yes. I think we just did. Thank you so much.
Trouble.
That concludes the business that needs to be conducted with respect to item number 40. Members and ladies and gentlemen of the public. Now, those of you who are here on item number 40, you are not permitted to leave at this point. We need you to endure the balance of this meeting. Of course, you want to hear about the Affordable Care Act. We're going to have a full-on 3-hour presentation on that. Now, let me test your commitment to democracy at this point in time. Thank you very much for being here. Give yourselves a round of applause for having been here and participated as well as you have. All right, so we have 3 items remaining, and they are items